Hello, it's time for another Commands and Colors Ancients battle. This time we will be visiting the Greco-Persian War for the last time, at least for Xerxes' invasion attempt of Greece, and we will be playing Mycale 479 BC. This is a kind of a peripheral battle for that war, because this is actually not happening in mainland Greece but in Ionia, which is today's Turkey, and this is actually launched by a uprising of the Ionian Greeks who rebelled against the Persian masters. And we'll actually see some of the forces that have been in mainland Greece. This is, if you remember from before the Platei battle, Xerxes had divided his army in two, left one half in Greece mainland under leadership of Mardonius, and the other part he withdrew back to his homeland, and part of the army is here now located in this battle fighting the rebellion, but it's not only rebels here, because what happened here was after the Battle of Salamis, the naval battle that was a real disaster for the Persians, they withdrew the remnants of their fleet eventually to the island of Samos, a Greek island, but I think it was under Persian rule as well, I guess so. And Samos sent an emissary to Athens, or to the Athenians, begging for help, and also trying to get them to attack the remnants of the Persian fleet, because it would be a good time now when they were depleted and in low morale. So the Greeks actually accepted that offer. They took their fleet, went off to Samos, prepared to do a naval battle, but as they approached Samos, they found out that the Persians had left from the island and had sailed back to the mainland, which is actually really close to the island of Samos. So they were located in Ionia, close to Mycale. This is not a city; it's a mountain, or a mountain range in the mainland, but near the island of Samos. So the Greeks were a bit puzzled. They didn't really know how to continue from here. Would they sail back or sail up to the Hellespont and destroy the bridge the Persians had there, pontoon bridge, or should they actually pursue the Persian fleet that had escaped Samos? Eventually they opted for the last option, so they set sail towards the mainland, I guess still waiting for the Persians to challenge them for a naval battle, but that did not happen, because when they reached the shore they found out that the Persians had drawn up their triremes to land and were not going out to meet the Greeks. But what they had done was to array themselves in battle formation on the beach already. So the Persians were clearly set up for a land battle. So the Greeks did they did sail some while adjacent to the beach, and then disembarked some distance away from the Persian line and started to array themselves into battle formation. And this is actually what we're seeing now in this scenario. This is the situation. So up here we have the Persian. The thing is that the Persians or the Persian fleet were also protected by some palisades and kind of a lightly fortified camp as well. So they couldn't attack them directly. I mean, the Greeks couldn't attack them directly. So that's what we're seeing here. So here we had the fortified camp, and up here somewhere we should have the Persian fleet as well, or the remnants of it. On this side of the battlefield we are seeing the foothills of Mount Mycale, and Greeks down here are, as usually, they are different from different cities. We have on this side, could call it the main force that were enclosing into the Persian line. That's the Athenians and their allies. There were some other hoplites from other cities there, like there are some Corinthians here, for instance. And the leader of the Athenians is Xanthippus. Kind of recognize that name. I think there was some Greek general in the Punic Wars with the same name. We get to that eventually, I guess. Maybe they are related. I don't know. This guy, I don't know where he comes from. Actually, I don't. Perilaus. I don't know. Maybe he's from Samos or something. And then they also sent a force under Leotychides, who is the Spartan leader of this expedition, and he is kind of also the overall commander here of the Greek forces. So he has with him 2 Spartan hoplites units and also some auxiliaries. I don't know who those guys are. Maybe they are Helons, or maybe they are locally Ionian guides organized to a unit here, guiding the Spartans in their maneuver to hit the flank of the Persians. They were sending them, the Spartans, around in some rough terrain here in the foothills of Mycale, and was supposed to attack the Greeks in their flank. Anyway, what happened here was that the Athenians, well, they wanted the glory for themselves, more or less. So before the Spartans actually reached the river Geison here, they attacked the Persian line, and heavy fighting occurred. The Persians were actually holding the line quite well in the beginning, but eventually the pressure from the hoplites broke some holes here, and the Persians started to retreat back to the camp. The Greeks, or the Athenians, with their allies, continued to charge that camp, eventually broke through the defenses there. This also caused some Ionian troops in the Persian lines to deflect to the Greek corps, and this is also reflected in some special rules. We shall look at that really soon. Also, eventually the Spartans showed up, and the Greeks could pressure with even more force into the Persian camp, this sea camp here. Even more Greek troops in the Persian lines got over to the Greek cause and started to attack the Persians, because there are quite some Ionians in the Persian battle line here. This ended in a full Persian rout. They retreated back up to the mountains after this battle, and the Greeks, they burnt the Persian fleet and got some, well, good treasures from the Persian camp, I guess, much gold and stuff. So this was a good and tremendous victory for the Greeks. Again, really helped to end the Persian invasion of Greece eventually, and the end of the Greco-Persian War. Not the end of it, because actually it entered a new phase when the Greeks went on the offensive. All right, so that's a short story of how it came that these guys were facing each other at Mycale, 479. By the way, it's the same year as the Battle of Plataea, as you notice, and I think Herodotus even says that it was fought on the very same day as Plataea. So if that's true, then I mean the Persians got really kicked that day and sealed their fate for the invasion of Greece. Poor searches. But let's see at the War Council then. We have the Persian army with leader Tigranes, who's their overall commander. They have 5 command cards. The Greek army is led by the Spartan Leotychides with 6 command cards, and they move first. So you know what I'm gonna do, give the Greeks 3 cards and the Persians 2 cards. So already there we have a advantage for the Greek. We'll fight to 5 banners. I get the feeling this could be really quickly done, because I just got the feeling they will clash really soon, and these 5 banners will be gathered pretty soon. That's my hunch. And for the special rules, we have these Persian camp hexes. Okay, so every time a Greek unit occupies a Persian camp hex, at the start of the Greek turn, we remove the camp hex, it's destroyed. The Greeks gain 1 victory banner, and in addition, one of the Persian auxiliary units representing the Ionian Greeks will join the Greeks and attack in the attack on the Persians. So what we will do is to replace one auxiliary unit with a Greek auxiliary unit. We'll play with hoplite rules. We have 2 Spartan 5-block special units, and the river Geisen is fordable, meaning when you enter you have to stop. Battling in and out is 2 dice maximum. Well, not maximum, because you can increase that number with some command cards. And I think for ranged combat, battling out there's a limitation of I don't remember. I think it's only 1 die actually for battling out in ranged combat out from there. And that's it basically. So let's have a quick look at the battlefield and the troops deployed there. So here we have this Athenians, Xantippus, and as expected we have a lot of hoplites here. We have 3 hoplites there. We actually have a bow unit in the center, and then we have 3 more hoplites here. In the Spartan flank, this flanking maneuver here, we have Leotychides and these 2 Spartan special 5-block hoplite units, and then we have these guys. As I said, I don't know who those guys are. Maybe they are Helons that the Spartans took with them, or maybe that could be local guides gathered into one unit. Well, for the Persians then, the main line facing the Athenians is the first line is quite light. We have bow units on the flanks, auxilia in the center, and even more bow units on the other flank. And this line is backed up by medium heavy infantry, all boosted with a leader back there. And I think the overall command, yes, Tigranes, he's located in the center of the Persian line. Over here we have some guys that have been sent, I guess, to face the Spartans coming from the flank. So, I don't know, maybe the Persians did get a clue that there were some Greek movement going on in the foothills of Mycale, but I also read somewhere that the Persians did send some allies up in the mountains to later act as guide if the Persians needed to retreat from the battlefield. But I don't know really who these guys are, but as we have two auxilia units there, they are for sure Ionians, because they can, deflect and fight for the Greeks if we get to the camp hexes. Anyway, we have an auxilia and we have a light unit on the front. On the back we have another auxilia and then a medium heavy infantry. Yeah, so that's the setup. And for the battle plans then, well, if you start with the Persians, I mean, given the troops they have, I think this is an optimal placement of the troops. I really like this battle array because, first of all, they are kind of secure behind this river. So we know the Athenians and Corinthians will have to wade through that river, and before they can do that, we can rain arrows on them. We have 4 bow units who are already in range of the Greek line, so they can give some really hefty fire already from the beginning. And as the Athenians close in, we also have more skirmish units there, the auxilia, who could throw javelins over the river. Also, as the Greeks eventually probably will enter the river, remember that they can only battle with 2 dice in or out. So even though we have light units here, they are kind of even in the fight. All the guys in the front are supported by or adjacent to leader units, so they also hit with leaders, even though the bow units don't hit with the swords or the sabers. So even if we got hoplite units there, it's kind of an even fight. Of course, we have some leaders coming here too, so most of the guys here will be adjacent to leaders as well. So it could be an even fight. So I think maybe I will not even evade with the bow units when the Greeks arrive, and just stand the ground and battle. And then at some given point we can rush in those medium heavies and finish off some Greek units that may break through here. And on this flank, well, kind of the same plan. Just try to keep the Spartans on the other side of the river. I mean, they are fighting basically in the same way here. It's 2 dice against 2 dice in the battle. We could even maybe move up the medium heavy, or maybe it's not only for, because the thing is, the Persians don't have a leader here, so they cannot hit with leader symbols. That's a minus for them, because the Spartans will hit with leader symbols as well as sabers or sword symbol. But these light units cannot do that. The auxilia can, and the medium heavy. So the good thing would be to have these 3 meeting the the attack. But first maybe just throw the javelins here when they approach, and then retreat with the lights and try to fight off these guys with the mediums and auxilia. That's a plan. And for the Greeks, well, we just go with the steamroller plan for them, I guess. We just push forward. I mean, there's no reason to stay here, of course, because we are in range of their skirmishes, so we need to close in, try to get a breach somewhere and pour in there with troops, forcing them back to the camp and try to get those hexes to get some extra banners by that, and also extra troops by the Ionians that will support the Greeks. So up to 3 auxiliary units can be turned to Greek. On this flank, I mean, it would of course be good to get those guys over the river so we can hit the flank. That would help the Athenians also to do the breakthrough. But I don't see this as an easy task. First of all, we are facing 4 units. We are only 3 units, even if we have these extra blocks on the Spartan units. But anyway, I feel this will be a hard fight to get over there. So I don't know how to. Should we just push forward with the Spartans and see what happens? I think I will. I don't see why they should only sit here and watch either. We need to get those guys over the river as well, even though it feels a bit hard to get there. We have a gap there, but I sense that the Persians will fill that gap if we are approaching that. Yeah, that's the initial plan anyway. So the cards are dealt. 3 here on the Greek side, 2 on the Persian side. The Greeks will go first, and I will also depend, as another note on the Greek battle plan, I will depend on good luck with having 1 more card versus the Persians, which it could be really good, of course, and could tip the balance to the Greeks. So, by that, let's start the game. Okay, so let's see what the Greeks have there in the initial hand. Okay, they have 3 units right, 2 units right, and a double time. Double time is 4 units linked. May engage in close combat. Okay. No ranged combat. So the thing is, we have the Athenian flank here basically 50-50 on the center and the right flank. So I wonder, maybe we should close in with this card now, with the right hand side of the Greek flank or the Athenian flank, and already enter that that river. And I wonder if that hex is, I mean, the shore hexes are impossible, but I mean, could they stand in the river, or is this counted as shore? I'm not sure of that. Well, I think this will. I mean, I think the whole line here is impossible terrain, right? That makes sense. So I cannot enter that hex. I'll play it like that. So in that case, we could occupy these 3 hexes. Too bad we cannot get these guys into action. They're too far off. But yeah, we could get these three guys into action, even though one of them is a bow unit. Not really that impressive, but still they are fighting in kind of equal terms with the enemy there anyway, since we are in the river, I mean. The other thing with this double time is that could go over several sections, so we could advance also guys from the center if you want to, but as we can follow up with some good battling here, I mean, maybe if we keep up the pressure here, it may well happen that the Persians don't have any hands to counter that, so we can just, you know, grind our way through that river. So I think I play the double time anyway, because I will now enter that river and can battle. So we'll just activate these fours here. Yeah, I wonder what I want to do with the bow units though. Do I want to engage in close combat with those guys, really? Well, yeah, let's do it. So I will advance here. Let's get these guys into the center, or the hex straddling both sides, and then we get the bow units up there, and we get Xantippus up here supporting the attack. Okay, so these guys move 2 hexes and can still battle, but it's only 2 dice, so let's see if we can kill off that unit with some good rolls. I will start here, attacking that guy. And that's actually 2 hits, so it's a good start for the phalanxes in the river here. They will of course fight back with 2 dice. And they got 1 hit and a flag, but I'm supported, so I can ignore that flag with the phalanx. But they did hold their ground and fight back hard there, just like in history. So we get the next one. That's only bow units. We don't hit with sword symbols this time, but let's see what we have here. Well, 1 flag, that's not enough, and a miss. So nothing there. They will fight back now, the Persian bow unit. They did miss also. We're happy it wasn't a phalanx unit here, because then it would have gotten 2 hits. Okay, we decimated that anyway, but we took some damage in the river as well. We have 1 unit left to battle, and we just take the guy adjacent to the weakened guy there. So we attack with 2 dice there. No leader support this time, but we hit with swords. We missed that guy completely. They hold their ground and fight back. And he's adjacent to a river. Yeah, well, he's adjacent to a river, but even more important, he's adjacent to a leader. So they hit with 2. So not that impressive of an initial assault by the Greeks, to be honest. But remember, we can press on here with these cards eventually. So we discarded double time. Oops, damn it. New card for them. And now it's interesting to see what the Persians really got. They also got a double time, but they are not too interested in moving, at least not now. We could also activate 3 units in the center. That would give us an attack there, and we could also fire with our bows there. That's not a bad option. This is a good card in this situation, I think. With a double time, we could actually activate, you know, 4 units in the front and attack those guys on the river. That's not a bad card either, even though I want to move an inch. So I see this as 2 good cards to play now. Almost equal good. I mean, we could get that unit, we could start weakening off these guys in the center, or we could counterattack those Greeks in the river with this card. So I will roll for it. It's a 1 to 3, I will play that. 4 to 6, I'll play the double time. It's a bubble time. Double time it is, and I will just, as I said, stay put here, activating these 4 units and try to hit the Greeks hard now. So let's start on this flank. We only have 1 target with that unit, so that will be 2 dice, and I'm still supported by that leader. And we got a hit and a flag, so we hit the phalanx, and as a matter of fact we force him to retreat as well. So that was a really bad result for the Athenians here. Well, if I go here, I'm blocking those guys' retreat path, so I guess I go to the center. Yeah, I'm very vulnerable to enemy bowfire by that move though, but and also I'm kind of blocking these guys' approach. Maybe I should go there anyway and hope these guys stand their ground. The problem is they retreat 2 hexes per flag, so if the guys roll many flags here, or at least 2 flags, I can only ignore 1, right? Then I will lose 2 units. But it's unlikely they roll a double flag, so I go there. So next attack will be, okay, let's take that one. The Auxilia against my bow units there, or the Greek bow units, and they got 1 hit on those guys. They stand their ground and will actually hit back. It's 2 dice. And they miss. So we are seeing some good Persian performance here, and well, yeah, let's continue. Now we want to attack this reduced phalanx unit here. That's our primary target. So let's continue with the guys from the flank, the bow unit. We'll roll 2 dice. They got the flag. I can ignore that. I could take it if I wanted, but I'm here to fight, so I stay and fight back. Adjacent to a leader. 1 hit. So 1 of the bow unit blocks down here. We still got 1 who can hit. Let's hope for 1 hit at least. So we got some success with those guys. Well, no. It's a complete miss again, because bow units don't hit with swords. And we are attacking a medium guy, so that's not a hit either. So those phalanx units are really holding the ground and fighting hard there. Now they will hit back. And 1 hit and a retreat flag. So we take the hit, and I think it's time for these guys to take that retreat now. Bad thing with that is that if we do that, if we retreat from here, we're giving the Greeks an opening here. So if they get them, I mean, they can pour in here now, and they are thus by over the river. If we stay put, we are blocking them from going over the river. On the other hand, they will probably kill us off here and do advance into that hex anyway, and also giving them a banner. So I will take that chance and retreat back to the camp with the bow unit there, hoping to be able to counterattack here and fill the gap with a medium infantry. So that's it. On this flank, Persians were successful, less here. Those hoplites didn't take any hits, but they did inflict some damage on both of the attackers. So both sides had some ups and downs in this turn. So we move on to the next Greek turn then, or the Greek activation. Okay, now they could activate the Spartans as well, but here's the focus point now. So I will activate 3 units here. That's what I have to do, and I will press into that gap now as the Persians feared. I could even go 2 hexes with this that guy. That's maybe crazy. Yeah, but I will fight with those guys anyway. Yeah, I will. And these guys will be activated, and now it's time for Xanthipus to enter the river. So those guys will just stay put. They will fight their opponent there. I will march up here. Now those guys are in real danger, and we have Xanthipus and his force marching steadily into the river here. That's the situation after movement. And now let's see. Okay, let's start with this attack then. It's 2 dice against the Persian auxilia. We got 1 hit on those guys. They stand their ground. We'll hit back with 2 dice. And they did also hit because they are adjacent to leader. So exchanging happening here. Now's the question. Who should attack first here now? That needs some thought, because if I would attack the lights there, they will probably evade, and then these guys don't have a target, and that would be a waste. If I attack from here, those guys are, well, maybe they are not even evading, because they are fighting in kind of even terms there. And then we can do the second attack, and then they will probably evade, also depending on how many hits they took there, I guess. Well, but let's do that anyway. I will attack with Xanthipus guys with 2 dice against that bow unit on the flank. We got no hits. They fight back and get 1 hit because they are also adjacent to leader. That was really, really bad. Ouch. But then we have our phalanx there. They will now hit those guys with 4 dice. And now's the question, should we evade? I think we should, because this could be certain death basically, because we are hitting with all, well, kind of symbols here now. So the bow unit simply evades. We're seeing a flank roll up here happening. We're still gonna roll this time 4 dice, and we hit with greens. So let's see how successful that evasion was. Well, kind of successful. They only got 1 hit and get away. So that's the situation here. We could also move in here, and I think I'll do that. Yeah. Okay, let's go. No, that's dumb of me, because here I'm at least supported and can take a flag. The thing is, I cannot retreat, and as I stated, this hex is not you cannot enter this hex, so we cannot retreat from this hex either, and we are not supported here, so that would be a better place to stay right now. Okay, that's how it is. So no banners yet, but heavy casualties on both sides, I say. Right, let's see how the Persians can retaliate. Move, fire, move, and 3 in the center. Move, fire, move. I mean, we have a few guys who could fire now. We have those guys in the camp. I guess though those guys are fighting with 1 less die, so it would only be 1 die in ranged combat. The other guys don't have any good line of sight, but they could step out, fire, and then step in again, because we have 2 movement orders with this card. Those guys could fire, those guys could fire, even those. And we actually could also fire with the lights towards those guys there. I'm unsure on the battle die reduction on those guys though. But let's see if that happens. And the other option would be 3 here. We could fire with those bow units and then activate 1 more unit in the center. We could take that one, maybe even that one, move him there and do a attack against those approaching hoplites. Maybe that's good. I like that plan, because I could also get a banner, because that bow unit does see that unit, also that. This is interesting. I think actually I go with the basically it's 2 tempting options here. Again, 2 interesting choices for the Persians. They could go with 1 more skirmish turn, or they could really go in for more, you know, going for a close combat with 1 unit. I roll again. I'll roll again for that. It's I cannot decide. So 1 to 3, 4 to 6. Okay, we do the activate center. So the plan is activate, what's the guy's name again? Tigranes, or? Yeah, Tigranes, the Persian leader there. He will step up there, attack those hoplites who dare to go over that river. And we will also activate these guys. They will, depending on how it goes with this bow unit, he will fire at those lone hoplites there. If they hit, I can pick next target with those javelins. If they miss, I will try another one on these hoplites if they don't retreat, and try to get the first Persian banner there. So I will do 1 movement. I will go sideways with Tigranes, and he's medium heavy. It's interesting also, I mean, this army is the other half of the invasion force of mainland Greece, but there are no immortals here, so I guess they left all those at Mardonio's command in Greece, because we only have like regular medium infantry here. Alright, so let's start with the skirmishing. We fire the bows against those hoplite units, and we are looking for 1 blue symbol. We didn't get that, so too bad. We have to use the other guy then to the same target. So if the arrows don't bite on these guys, maybe some javelins will. Nope. Bad luck again. For the Persians, I was really wanting that banner there, but I cannot do that. Good thing here is those guys cannot retreat, or that because they are blocked. He can ignore one flag. I had the leader with me. I was thinking I could get a bonus combat, but that will likely not happen because these guys will need to stay put. But on the other hand, it depends on what I roll here. It's time for we got some bad rolls with the skirmishing, so let's hope we get a good roll with the close combat then. We got 2 hits, so we got... Unfortunately we didn't get that guy. And that was bad, because we wanted that and not get a hit back. But we will get that now, but we are seriously damaging these units here, and that's good. But they will hit back now against Tigranes. And they rolled 2 hits first of all. We got some flags here. And now it's important to check the leader loss first before we take those flags, because that could affect the result. So let's see the fate of Tigranes. He's fine, no problem. So we got 2 flags from the initial roll. This means that we can stay put, because we have the leader that ignores 1 flag, and we are in support that ignores the second flag. But we could also take the flag if we want to. But I think I'll stay put here with that, even though I'm down to 2 units, or 2 blocks. It's not good if, I mean, these guys will get the first hit. They need 2 hits. They hit also with leaders. I mean, there's a good chance those guys will kill that guy now. And we cannot hit back. Bad. This is bad. We could retreat 1 hex, but what will happen then? Those guys will follow and hit anyway. That's not an option as I see it. We could take both flags and actually go back to the camp there. Or there, to the open hex there. That would mean these guys cannot follow and hit me again. They had to hit on other guys here. Maybe that's the best thing to do now. We can use these guys later on when the Greeks, if they do approach my camp here, then we can use these guys to hit back then. I think I'll do that. I don't know if this is a wise decision or not, but I fear I'm gonna lose this unit if I leave it here. And we have seen before how efficient these Greeks are, so they will probably kill that unit off if we give them that chance. So we retreat back to the sea camp, and not very happy. I'm a bit disappointed about this skirmish. I was hoping, I mean, 4 dice, 1 blue roll. I was hoping to get that, but nope. And here I was hoping to actually get 3 hits on that guy, but that wasn't happening either, and they did bite back really hard. Alright, so we hide that one, and it's time for the Greeks again. I think I'll keep these videos a bit shorter this time, so I will cut this video here and continue some other time with this battle. I think it's looking very interesting, don't you? Because I mean, the Greeks are, well, they are pouring in here, but look at the strength. They are, I mean, 1 block, 2 blocks and 3 blocks. Not a single unit here is in full strength anymore. The Persians do have, I mean, 1 medium infantry in full strength here. We have gotten some hits on the lights or the bow units here, but they are, on the other hand, successfully escaped the front line, so they are in a kind of secure place there. And we have more forces we can shift to this side and battle the Greeks. So I think the Greeks, while they want to push on here, I think they need to commit the center section of their hoplites now, and even it's time for the Spartans to move on. The Persians, well, they can just wait out the Greeks here and here. They can skirmish if they want to. We know we had a move fire move card still. We could do some harassment and fire against these weak units and maybe get lucky at some point and start harvesting banners. Up here, kind of a chaos, but I think the Persians are in control there, to be honest. So it will be an interesting continuation on this battle. Let's see, maybe the Persians will win this eventually and crush the Ionian revolt. Let's see about that. Thanks for watching, and see you again. Bye.